Liberty Nation. Truth is making a comeback.
Hello and welcome to another Liberty Nation LNTV. I'm your host, Mark Angelides, speaking today with Mr. Jeff Charles. Our topic, it's a hot one this week. It's coming right on the heels of the Molly Tibbetts murder, suspected to be committed by an illegal immigrant. Now, many are questioning why the US and other countries are not doing more to tighten up the borders and make sure these types of crimes are just not committed. So, to tackle this thorny rose, welcome, Jeff.
Great to be here.
So, to start, why is it that we hear so much about crimes committed by illegal migrants, but nothing is actually being done? In fact, you have a large proportion of your population who are actively calling for ICE to be abolished altogether. What's happening with that?
I think a lot of it is ignorance. On the left, they've always been against having stricter immigration laws and tightening up security at the border. But on the right, as far as our leadership goes, they're hesitant to do anything about it as well. So that leaves conservatives like myself and like others wanting the government to do more about illegal immigration, but our leadership won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that the Democrats are quite soft on illegal immigration because, you know, it's future votes, right? But why are we seeing such disinterest in reform from Republicans, who presumably would be the traditional party that respects the laws of the country? Why are we seeing such apathy from the Republicans?
Yeah, as far as Republican lawmakers, they've always been reticent to do anything about the situation at the border. They always talk a good game, but then when it comes down to actually doing it, they back off. Now, I'm not sure what their agenda is. I mean, a lot of people suspect that it's the people who are with the Chamber of Commerce who want these illegal immigrants to come over the border because it provides cheap labor for corporations. So that could be part of it. Part of it could just be that they're feckless. And really, that's one of the reasons why the Tea Party movement gained so much steam around 2008, 2009, 2010. It's also one of the reasons why Trump was elected. And what we're seeing now is a push to elect GOP lawmakers who are on board with Trump's agenda when it comes to border security.
Yeah, your point about it being for a low-cost workforce, that very much rings true with me being here in Britain. Obviously, we have the Brexit thing going on, and
right.
it's a fact. It's a verifiable fact that more low-skilled immigration that comes in, it suppresses wages, especially of those who are already in the low-skilled or even no-skilled jobs market. Which I think in the US is predominantly the legal migrant workforce. Obviously not all, many come over legal migrants to take some really nice top jobs, but many of them come over with family through chain migration, and they're getting, let's be fair, quite low paying jobs, and these are the people whose wages are being suppressed because there's unfettered immigration. I really don't see why. Well, I do know why. It's because the narrative isn't telling them that, welcome more immigration, your wages will suffer. People are not telling them this. But I think it's a bit of a travesty. And I do think that at some point somebody will get that message out there effectively, in a nice, calm way, without the nasty rhetoric and stuff. And what you'll find is, fingers crossed, is that the fresh immigrant, new immigrants, or even second generation immigrants will start thinking, well, maybe I need to be voting for a party that actually wants to take care of me now that I'm already here, as opposed to the next generation who might be voting. Sorry, a bit of a tangent there, Jeff. But yeah, please.
Well, yeah, what I was saying is you're absolutely right, and people are starting to realize this more. And I'll tell you, the people who are being affected by this, they know that this is an issue, whether it's legal immigrants who take low-paying jobs, the Black community. They'll never show you this on CNN, but a lot of people in the Black community are getting fed up with this. I recently saw a video of a town hall meeting in Santa Barbara, which was talking about being a sanctuary city. Tons of Black residents of that city came out and said, you want to let these illegal immigrants come in here, take the jobs that we would have, endanger our community. We're not going to let that happen. So the people who are being affected by this are the people who are standing up for it. Even some that may vote Democrat, they're not too happy about this whole illegal immigration thing. And I think that's why Trump has support on his immigration policy, maybe not in other areas, but when it comes to immigration, most of America is on his side, even if our Democratic and Republican lawmakers are not.
Okay. I mean, as a Brit, I don't know if you could tell by my accent, but we have the special relationship with the US. And whenever I come to the States, I have to do an e-visa first, which can either be approved or rejected before I even buy a ticket. I get questioned in the country of departure by American immigration officials. You know, there's some hefty New Yorkers who I have to go and have an interview with before I've even left the country I'm in. This is before I get on the plane. So why are we seeing this for some nationalities or entryways, and we're not seeing it for others? I mean, to me, this seems like I'm glad they do it this way, don't get me wrong, but this does seem like a discriminatory practice to me. What are your thoughts?
So what's interesting about that, and what a lot of people don't really realize, is that a lot of people who come here illegally do go through that exact same process that you're talking about. 60% of illegal immigrants that come into the United States come by plane. They get temporary work visas where they can come and work, but then they overstay their visas. Yeah. And that's actually how a lot of people are trafficked into the country too, to be sold basically into slavery. They're given promises of, hey, you get this temporary work visa, you'll come over here, we'll educate you, you'll have a great job, but then they take away their paperwork so that their visa expires, and now they can't tell anybody because they'll be deported, and so now they have more leverage. But yeah, the majority of illegal immigrants come the right way, they just overstay their visas. 40% come over the border, so they're not even dealing with the legal process at all.
It's a bit of a mess, to be honest, Jeff. I mean, we have
it's a horrible mess.
We have an article going up on Liberty Nation today. It's about biometric facial recognition. It's being used at airports to essentially catch out bad folk. So this technology, it exists. It's in use in America today. I mean, this could just be put up all across the southern border, but it requires you to have a wall. What's happening with the wall?
Not a whole lot. I mean, they have started building it. I know they've started in San Diego, and I know that the work is being put in, but the president hasn't been able to get the funding that he needs to fund the rest of the wall. So there's no telling how long this is going to take. But this also goes back to the midterms. There's a reason why GOP candidates who were endorsed by Trump are winning their primaries. So if the Republican Party can get more of these people into office who are on board with Trump's agenda, then perhaps they can get funding to build the rest of the wall. And as far as the biometric facial recognition, I think that would help quite a bit when it comes to rooting out people who shouldn't be here. Now, I'm not sure what that brings to mind the murder of Molly Tibbetts, the person who is alleged to have killed her. I'm not sure how he entered the country, but if he would have had to go through one of these systems, and we were collaborating with the Mexican government, we probably could have identified him before he got in. Yeah. So it would solve some problems.
Yeah, I've read that the people who he worked for, the farm that he worked for, said that he had an EVerify and documentation, but that it's not actually his. And tracing back, I believe it's the prosecution is saying that these documents didn't belong to him. They have nobody on record who looks like him or has any variation of his name spelling. But as you say, with the facial recognition stuff, surely we don't know. I mean, obviously he hasn't been found guilty at all, so we should definitely not assume that he is a bad guy. But there are bad people, and they have committed crimes in other countries, whether that's Mexico, Honduras, or they've flown in to South America with the intention of crossing a very porous border, and they're using Mexico to get through to the US. But we have criminal databases for all around the world. How hard would it be to say, this guy's murdered 12 people, ding, 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 and then an alarm bell goes off.
Exactly.
But again, it requires a wall. So even if Donald Trump and the Republicans they keep control of both houses in November, can you actually see anything being done to tackle illegal immigration? Just because it hasn't happened so far, and you have the goodwill factor of your first year, and it hasn't happened yet. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's true. The Republicans need the right people in office. And again, that goes back to why candidates were winning their primaries that were supported by Trump. So the Republicans that we have in office right now aren't going to pursue Trump's agenda. Perhaps if the Republicans can get more GOP senators and representatives who are on board with tightening up the American border, then we can actually see some action on this.
Okay. Well, Jeff, thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And most of all, big thanks to you at home for watching. I hope we gave you something to think about. And if we did, leave a comment below and let us know. You can also subscribe to the channel down below. If you want more articles, videos, podcasts, radio shows, you can head over to our new and improved site at libertynation.com now. You can also download our app from the Google Play Store and the Apple Store to get even more coverage of all that's important in the political world. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and be safe.
Visit us at libertynation.com.